I bought this 1999 911 Carrera 4 about 2 or 3 years ago now. For the last year and a half, I haven't done that much work on it. This car, I bought it with a bad engine. I sold the engine and I sold the transmission pretty much immediately because I was planning to do an electric swap on this car, and that's the plan. I since have gotten the motor. I bought a Tesla motor for it out of a Model S, the rear drive unit, and I have mounted that kind of in front of the rear axle, so it's kind of like a mid-engine car now. The battery box I kind of have fabricated and it's in place. It's where the old engine would go. Today I'm trying to get the fuel tank out. Hopefully today I can get that out, and what I'm trying to make room for is this right here. We call it the PDM. It's the Power Distribution Module. Control charging of the battery, but it'll also kind of control pulling energy from the battery and sending it to the motor. So it's kind of like a big brain. It does a lot of things, and I need space where the fuel tank is, and so that's what I'm trying to do. Also, it's not that heavy, but it's not that light either. It's probably 50 pounds, I would guess. I would like to move that weight more forward since I already have the battery and the motor mounted in the back of the car. Hopefully today we can finish getting the fuel tank out, make room for this thing. All right, what's up YouTube? I'm here with Elijah and Russell. I haven't done much work on this car at all. If you don't know, it's a 99. You see the taillight there. It's a 99 Carrera 4, and we are swapping this thing to electric, just like everyone on the internet. It's just another crazy YouTube car project. The goal is to finish this car this year. It's February, so that gives us 10 months or so. Hopefully we can do. I got my friend Elijah here. He's the welder.
Yes, sir.
Russell here is gonna, he doesn't know this yet. He's gonna make sure the sway bars still fit with everything we've made so far. And then Elijah's gonna be helping me like mock up how we're gonna mount the battery box, and if we finish that, the PDM too. Yeah. Very ambitious day. We probably won't do any of it, but
hopefully we'll come up with some ideas.
We'll come up with some ideas. Yeah.
We're gonna get all of it done.
We're gonna get it all done.
Yeah.
We got goals. This is a small drive unit from a 2017 Model S. Would you say, Russell, Elon Musk built this with his bare hands?
Yeah, I can see his signature. It's right there on the back.
It's a QR code. That's how he signs things.
So the long one goes down here.
Yep.
Battery box, so you can mount it to this plate.
If we can get the motor in place.
It won't come out. It won't come out.
Let's see if we can get this thing back in.
Yeah, that doesn't look right, Kenny. I think you have to do it all over again.
We're just making it up as we go. What's going on in here a little bit? This right here is the frame that will hold Nissan Leaf modules, the battery. So the battery will go here. You can see up there, this is the Tesla drive unit. It's a small drive unit and it's more or less mounted. I need to make one more mount that would go right here and connect to this motor mount. So it's mounted on the side and it's also mounted in the front. And then this is going to be mounted. I'm going to make a mount here that's going to mount the motor, but it's also going to mount the front of the battery box. And then there'll be mounts here and here on the sides. And then I need the engine would kind of bolt into this plate and hang off the motor mounts. You can see here the motor mounts. So I want to make some sort of mount that will go from this engine mount back and then brace into the battery box frame here. So that's kind of what's going on. Battery box, motor. You can see I put the sway bar on there. That's this kind of curvy one here, just to make sure it would fit with all the other stuff. Today the goal is just to get that fuel tank out. So that's what I'm working on now. This is the fuel tank, and it's got that kind of saddle shape because this was a C4, and so there was a drive shaft that went through here and connected, you know, to the front diff that was up there that would power the front wheels. This is my goal. I'm trying to get this out, and why it's been so hard is because there's so many lines. And I'll show you an example. You know, like this coolant line here needs to come out before I can drop this tank. This is the steering rack, and it's been dropped down. I had to drop the whole subframe down. You can see it's kind of sitting on the jack here. I think once I can get these lines out, I might have a chance. I also might have to pull this line out. Just trying to get that pipe disconnected. All right, I was able to pull both the coolant aluminum tubes out. And it looks like there's just one more crossover pipe I need to pull out. The other thing that I'm kind of stuck with is, I don't really understand, is the fill pipe here and how this comes out. You saw I was starting to take off fuel lines. Needed some tools I didn't have, so good old Amazon. These are what I need. See that red button? It's on both sides. And so I need to pinch those off, and I couldn't do it by hand, and there's quite a few of them. All right, I got this line loose from here with our fancy new pliers here. There's a flange on there. I'm gonna see if it gives me enough room to pull the whole thing out. I got the fill tube out here. And now I think the tank might just drop out now that that's out of the tank. One thing I'm excited about is getting all these gas parts out of this car. Anything to do with oil, coolant, all these parts are coming out. I'm sick of the, I just don't like smelling all this stuff. Now that the filler's out, I wonder if I just drop this if the fuel tank will drop. No. Looks like it wants to drop down more than ever now. It's this one. This needs to come out. I need to remove these plastic clips. Well, I got the pipe out and it dumped coolant all over me. Oh yeah. Okay. I have a feeling this tank is about to come out. The fuel tank didn't come out when I got that line out. There's one more here. This clip broke. I've broken a lot of clips trying to get this fuel tank out. Got the second pipe out, that crossover coolant line. Before I forget, this is the one that goes more in the front of the car, towards the front. This is the one towards the back. All right, well right now I feel like they designed this so the fuel tank would never come out of this car. I just removed this cover here. This is the top of the fuel tank. This is, I'm guessing, the fuel pump, which is just in the front here. Really easy access. All right, so now I'm going to remove all the stuff here, pull all the electrical out, and undo these plugs, and see if I can like unscrew this top part or something. I feel like it's obstructing it from sliding down and back. Easy. These tools are coming in handy. All right, so supposedly there's a locking ring on the bottom of the pump. Got it. Guess this tells you how much fuel there is in there. It's not a pump. There's a pump. I can see the pump down in there. There may be enough clearance now that I can drop it. Still can't get the fuel tank out. All right, we're back at the garage again. We'll look underneath this plate, and maybe there's a clue underneath that. Well, I can see the tank, but there's no real other clues that I can see here. Oh, baby. I just removed the steering rack from the subframe cross mount piece, and I pushed it forward, so I think that was my last clearance issue, I think. Oh my God. Yes, sir. All to do is drop that front strut. That much. I mean, I just feel bad for anyone that, like, I don't know how you do this, but if you somehow got a hole in your fuel tank or you needed to switch your fuel tank for some reason, that's a bummer. Also, there's like really no references on YouTube or the internet on how to do this. There's a couple videos for like a regular C2, but because this car was 4-wheel drive originally and had a front drive shaft and a front diff, it's a whole nother thing. All right, here we go. Moment of truth. How big is this cavity? Oh my gosh. It's huge. Well, there's a lot of room up here. This would be a sweet spot for batteries too, for future version 2.0. So there's plenty of room for the PDM. This is awesome. All right, thanks for watching this video. It feels good to be making progress on this car. And I'm so glad the fuel tank's out of this thing. This is like the last stinky gas car thing, right? All the oil's out, coolant's out, fuel's out. So this should be an odor-free garage, at least from this car. So, all right, thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll have some more content on this car coming soon. Okay, bye.